The Suffolk County Police Commissioner joins the Patchogue Fire Department to hold a briefing on this morning's water rescue in Patchogue. Let's listen in.
Great work by not just one of the officers from the Suffolk County Police Department, but also one of our firefighters that also has a dangerous job. But this morning, a little bit around 5 o'clock in the morning, around Masdock Dock in South Ocean Avenue, which is located in Patchogue, one of our news outlets observed this, believe it or not. They were there for a unrelated story where they saw a 2017 Nissan sedan on the dock go into the water at that location. So that news outlet called 911, and Officer Ed Petrie responded. He's assigned to the 5th Precinct. He has 2 years on the job. He works a midnight sector car, and he gets there. He sees the car submerged in the water, and he jumps into the water and goes into action. Now, just to let you know, this is not something that's easy to do because he was in full uniform. He's wearing a vest. He had his gun belt on, and all that probably adds another 20 pounds of weight to his body. So he jumps into the Patchogue Bay. He also has a life ring with him. He tries to break the glass on the vehicle and was unsuccessful. He actually took what's called a cuff key and tried to use that to break the window, where he was unable to do. So Officer Peter Feehan, who is a firefighter who also responded to the 911 call, jumped into action as well, jumped into the water, used an object, and I'm sure he's going to share the name of the object, and was able to break the back of the window. At which time Officer Petrie was able to remove the individual who was by themselves. Our firefighter Peter Feehan, took the person to the dock. Officer Petrie went back into the water to make sure that there was nobody else inside the vehicle. I mean, I just can't emphasize the heroic act by both of these individuals. I'm just so humbled and really grateful for being able to do this press conference today. Fortunately, nobody else was in the car, and they were able to get the individual to safety. Everybody here went to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and this is a great story of partnership between the firefighter, between one of our officers from the Suffolk County Police Department, saving a life. And as soon as that window was broken, by the way, the car went under, and it went under the water, which, once again, as I have to emphasize, if it wasn't for these 2 individuals that are standing next to me, things could have been a lot worse for that individual. So great work, and I want to thank everybody for being here, and I'll open up the floor for any questions.
This is actually, oddly enough, the second time this happened to the day. Last year, I don't know if you may recall, someone actually went over into the bay as well. Mm-hmm. Is there some sort of security, safety measure, something, advice, something that a guard, anything that you recommend or not?
You know, I'm not saying I'm not familiar, but I don't recall exactly why that vehicle went off the dock and went into the water. We're still investigating the reason why this individual went into the water as well. But I want to make sure that this press conference doesn't go the wrong way. At the end of the day, these officers, firefighters, jumped in the water, went into action, saved somebody's life, and I really want to commend them for the great work that they do. They saved somebody's life. Really, really impressive work.
I have a question for Officer
Ed Petrie. Yeah.
And Officer Shaw. Great job, guys.
Thank you.
If there was something, can you talk to me about when you first jumped into the water and you made contact with the driver? Was he praying or saying anything to you at all?
I didn't really notice him doing anything that was other than just panicking at the time. He wanted to get away out of there, and I was trying to provide that to him.
Okay, want to ask you a question? I'm sorry, just look in the middle.
Okay.
Okay. Move over. And you said when you saw him, he was
saying he was panicking. What do you mean by he was panicking?
Patty, just like a distraught look on his face, trying to find a way out, trying to make sure that I could find a way out for him.
Officer, when you're trying to break the glass, the water is rising inside. Peter said it was up to his chin at the end when you finally broke through.
Correct.
What are you thinking when you see that the time it has to happen now?
Exactly that. It has to happen now. And that's exactly what my motive was. And the adrenaline was pushing him through it. And thankfully, Mr. Behan here was here to save it with his tool that he had.
Can you talk to
Before can we just ask you, you know, plenty of people are going to be calling you here, and I just love to get your response to that.
I signed up for this job. This is what I chose to do. This is what I knew what it entailed. I don't care to be called a hero. It's just what I chose to do.
And you went, I mean, the video showed you did not hesitate. Can you just walk us real quick from the moment you arrived on scene to the moment you were in the train?
As soon as I arrived on scene, I saw the vehicle submerged. And I wasn't able to see much, but I did know that the occupant was still in the vehicle. And I knew I had precious seconds that I didn't really have too much time to think, but I just had to get into the water and make sure I could assist with him.
Is that a hopeless feeling for you, not being able to get through, break the glass initially?
There was an issue with that. They did set a little bit of panic in with me, knowing that there was precious time that was being wasted. And again, thankfully, Mr. Feehan, who was here with his tool, that was able to break that open and get us to free him.
What injury did you sustain?
Just a minor laceration on my thumb.
Can I just jump in? So one of the first questions I had when I went to visit him at the hospital was, first of all, what's your training? How are you as a swimmer? And his first thing was, I'm not an advanced swimmer. I'm a mediocre swimmer. So I was like, wow, that's even a bigger deal than we can make it out to be. And the second thing is, I want to make sure that everybody understands this. This is something that we train our officers in the academy. Ed has 2 years on the job. He just came out, but this is a training that we do all the time with our recruits. They go through a training where they work on jumping in the water and rescuing people because, being out here in Suffolk County, we're surrounded by water, so that's something that we have to add to our training for our future police officers.
Commissioner, is there anything about the driver you can tell us?
I'll have our PIO get back to you, but I don't know, is there an age range that you could share with us? Around what?
Mid-30s.
Mid-30s?
Did he go to the hospital?
He did. He went to a local hospital as well.
Do we know right now if there was any alcohol, drugs, anything involved?
Yeah, we're still investigating that, but at this time, we don't believe that's the case.
So there are no charges at this point?
No charges at this time.
Did you know it was 5 feet deep? Like, it would have been tougher if it was deeper. Obviously, your feet are on the ground there, so.
That was a guessing game. That didn't, as much as I would love to know, it wasn't really a thought in my mind at the time.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Great, no, great job.
Thank you.
What was this like for you to describe to us, walk us through if you look in the middle of what this whole ordeal was like saving this driver?
When I received the call on my pager at home, I drove over to the LDOC. All I saw was an individual that needed help, someone that was in need. I saw the officer, Officer Petrie, was in the water attempting to break the window. Once one of our trucks arrived, I took a tool, it's called a Halligan, and I swam out with the tool and was able to break the back window behind the driver. With that, Officer Petrie reached in, was able to grab the driver, pull him out between the two of us. We got him out, got him to shore. Ambulance company took over from there, and this was a very positive outcome in this particular case.
Do you consider yourself a hero?
No. To me, that's a much overused term. I did what I'm trained to do. Because of the training that I've received from the Patchogue Fire Department and from the Suffolk County Fire Academy, I had tremendous confidence in what I was about to do. I wasn't worried about myself at all. And I felt that I'd be able to do something positive and assist somebody that was in need.
Were you there last year?
I was.
Okay. And that was the other side of the dock, right? So
Yes, the opposite side. When I arrived, the woman who was driving had already been removed from the car.
I'm sorry, did you have any any words with the victim? Did he say anything to you at all once you pulled him out?
He was in shock. As Officer Petrie said, he was very agitated and scared because the water was rising, and he couldn't open the door or the windows. We couldn't get in. So until that window was broken, he was extremely agitated, very upset, and I think the shock just was overwhelming him at that point in time. Once we got him to the dock, the ambulance company took over, and he went on his way.
You said you pulled him out the back. Was he in the back seat at this point, or was you?
He was in the front seat.
And he got out?
Between the two seats, Officer Petrie reached in, grabbed him, pulled, I assisted, got him out, and off we went.
How deep would you say that water was?
The water at that point was probably 5.5 feet deep, and as Officer Petrie said, once the window broke, the car sunk very, very quickly right up to the roof of the car.
Anybody else?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done.
You're very welcome. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Fantastic job.
And by the way, he's a hero. Don't let him tell you anything different. He's a hero in my eyes.